We're doing a lesson now on dividing integers. So how do you know that negative 5 times negative 4 equals 20, while negative 5 times 4 equals negative 20? Well, we know it's saying what is the opposite of 5 groups of negative 4? Well, 5 groups of negative 4 is negative 20. Opposite of that is 20. Another way I see it is, what's the opposite of a negative? Positive 20. While this one is saying, what's the opposite of 5 times 4, which is 20? Opposite of 20 is negative 20. So some people memorize it as this. If the same signs, positive, different signs, negative. These two have the same sign, positive. These have different signs, so the answer has to be in a negative. So, do now. A drought can cause the level of the local water supply to drop by a few inches each week. Suppose the level of the water drops 2 inches each week. So, this is how I represent it as an integer, a whole number and its opposite, including 0. How much will it change in 4 weeks? So, if it drops 2 inches each week for 4 weeks, it will drop 8 inches. Another way you can represent it is it dropped 2 inches first week, 2 inches second week, 2 inches third week, 2 inches in fourth week, so drop 8 inches. So in dividing, it says 15 divided by 3 could be represented as an improper fraction as 15 divided by 3. So if you have 15 and you divide it into 3 groups, let's try that now. So put 4 here, I put 4 here, I put 4 here. Whoops, I think I should have put 5 in per 5 per basket. So 15 divided into 3 group is 5. So complete this given multiplication sentence and use the result to complete the related division. Because you know fact families. In elementary school, you learn fact families, how a multiplication is related to a division problem. So let's start off with our first example. Let's use my text. 5 times 9 is 45. So 45 divided into 5 group will be 9. 3 times 6 is 18. So if I have 18 and I divide it into 3 groups, each group will receive 6. 8 times 7 is 56. So 56 divided by 8 will be 7. And 6 times 6 is 36. So 36 divided by 6 will be 6. This should be familiar since 3rd grade. So when a positive is divided by a positive, the answer will always be positive. Now I have 15 negatives. I want to divide it into 3 groups. I can rewrite it as an improper fraction as negative 15 divided by 3. So I'm going to say there are 5 negatives in each group. 4, 5, and so 15 negatives are divided into 3 groups, so it's negative 5. So complete this given sentence. So when I have negatives and I'm dividing it into groups, I'm putting negatives, so the answer will be a negative. So let's try these examples. Let's make it 5 times negative 9. 5 groups of 9 negatives would be negative 45. So negative 45 divided into 5 groups would be 9 negatives. 3 groups of 6 negatives. So I have 3 groups of 6 negatives. 6 negatives, 6 negatives, 6 negatives. That's negative 18. So if I have negative 18 and I divide it into 3 groups, each group will receive 6 negatives. 8 groups, 8 times negative 7, or 8 groups of negative 7 will be negative 56. If I have 56 negatives and I divide it into 8 groups, each group will receive 7 negatives. And 6 groups, 6 times negative 6, 6 groups of negative 6 will be negative 36. And if I have 36 negatives, I divide it into 6 groups, each group will get 6 negatives. So what did you notice in this one? When I have negatives and I'm dividing it by a positive, the answer will always be negative because you're dividing negatives into groups, so it's negative. Next one, next fact family. Complete the given multiplication sentence. Negative 5 times negative 9. So it's saying, what's the opposite of a negative? Positive. So negative 5 times negative 9 is 45. So 45 divided by negative 9, let's look right here, using our fact family, would be negative 5. If I have negative 3 times negative 6, what's the opposite of 3 groups of negative 6? Negative 18, so opposite is 18. Or another way to see it is, what's the opposite of a negative? Positive, so it's 18. So 18 that's divided by negative 6 would be negative 3. What's the opposite of a negative? Positive, so 8 times 7 is 56. So 56 divided by negative 7 will be negative 8. What's the opposite of a negative? Positive, so 6 times 6 is 36. So 36 divided by negative 6 will be negative 6. So as you can tell, when we have positives and we're dividing by negative, it will be negatives. Think about the opposite of. So a positive divided by negative, the answer will be negative. And number 7, multiply these and find the fact families. Negative 5 times 9. What's the opposite of 5 times 9? Well, 45, so opposite is negative 45. So negative 45 divided by negative 5 will be 9. Because what's the opposite of a negative? Positive 9. Negative 3 times 6. Opposite of 18 is negative 18. So negative 18 divided by negative 3 would be 6. Again, opposite of a negative is positive. What's opposite of 8 times 7? Negative 56. So negative 56 divided by negative 8 would be 7. What's opposite of 6 times 6? Negative 36. So negative 36 divided by negative 6, opposite of a negative positive, so it would be 6. When a negative is divided by a negative, the answer would be positive. Why, you may say? Opposite of a negative equals positive. So what rule can we say here? When we are working with dividing two positive, it will be positive. When you're dividing two negatives, opposite of a negative is positive. If you have a negative and you divide it by a positive, so you have all these negatives, you're putting it into different groups. You're putting negatives in a group, so it'll be negative. And when you have positive dividing by negative, it will be negative. Wait, hold up. Isn't this the same rule as you see for multiplying integers? It is. So when the signs, same signs, equal positive, different signs equal negative. So when they are the same, positive, different will always be negative. So let's practice on a couple of examples. For example, number 1, I have 28 divided by negative 4. Well, 28 divided by 4 is 7. Opposite is negative 7. Different signs. I have 56 negatives and dividing it into 7 groups. So each group will get 8. Opposite, negative 8. Different signs. Negative 35 divided by 7. I have 35 negative. I'm dividing it into 7 groups. Each group will get 5. Opposite is negative. Number 4, I have 108. I'm dividing by negative 12. 108 divided by 12 is 9. Opposite is negative. Ooh, this one. Negative 44 divided by negative 11. That would be 4, because 11 go into 44 4 times. What's the opposite of a negative? Positive. Same sign, positive. Negative 60 divided by negative 12 is 5. Opposite of a negative is positive. Some kids will say these two negatives will cancel out. So let's go back and answer this question. What is 6 divided by 0? Some kids will debate and say the answer is 0. Some people will say 1. Which one is it? If I have 6 positives and I'm dividing into 0 group, each group will get how many? 0, 1, or maybe 6. Well, let's see what Apple says. If you ask this question to Siri, what is 0 divided by 0?
Imagine that you have 0 cookies and you split them evenly among 0 friends. How many cookies does each person get? C. It doesn't make sense. And Cookie Monster has said that there are no cookies, and you are saying that you have no friends.
So there is no answer. So there is no, let me get my, no answer. In high school, we call that undefined. So if I have 6 positive and divide into 0 group, I can't put anything into nothing. So there's no answer, undefined. So it's not 0, 1, or 6. It's just no answer. And let's try some examples here. Plot each one. What's 8 divided by 4? Well, 8 divided by 4 is 2. So that goes right here. What's 48? Oh, 18 divided by 0. Can I put 18 positive into 0 group? That's undefined. That doesn't even go here. What's 48 divided by negative 12? I have 48 positive. I'm dividing it into 12 groups. That's 4. Opposite is negative 4. What's negative? 10 negatives divided into 2 groups. Each group will get 5 negatives. Or you can see it was opposite of 5, negative 5. It goes right there. What's 0 divided by 3? If I have 0 positive, 0 anything, I divide into 3 groups. Each group gets 0. What's negative 27 divided by negative 9? Opposite of a negative is positive, so 27 divided by 9 is 3. 22 negatives divided into 11 groups, that's be 2. Opposite is negative 2. That goes right there. 20 negatives divided by negative 4. So it's the opposite of negative, positive, so 20 divided by 4 is 5. And last but not least, can I have 10 negative and put it in 0 groups? No. So that is our answer. So again, just like in multiplying and dividing, if you have same signs, it equal positive. If it's different signs, equal negative. So you can see here, let's do the positive side. Same, 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 different, different sign, difference, positive, negative, different signs, negative, positive, different signs. This is dividing integer.